last year and was the top fundraiser in the nation, raising $72,000 himself.
That is absolutely amazing.
And brought us to the record-breaking $515,000
Wow.
in 30 days in
I
2021.
we just got to pause there for a moment and think about that, how quick that's grown. Just momentum, right? Momentum is a beautiful thing when it really gets going. And when you get the ladies involved, and then you're just really, right, everything just keeps growing. So ASH, as one of the benefiting groups here, tell us a little bit about how it's changed what it is you're able to do on a day-to-day basis.
Well, yeah, I mean, we receive significant funding, and I think what needs to be recognized, and it's starting to be recognized now, but Mustaches for Kids is giving out some serious money in this community. I mean, you look at all the other, because I apply for money all the time, you know, like most nonprofits, and the United, I'm a United Way partner, and, you know, they give me a bunch of money every year. Greater Lynchburg Community Foundation, and some of these places that are well known and get a lot of publicity and exposure for giving to the community. Mustaches for Kids is starting to give that kind of money and put that kind of money back in this community, and I think they finally need to be recognized for doing the great work that they're doing. So, but obviously, yeah, I mean, it's a significant portion of our budget every year. It also comes at the end of the year, which is a great time to get it. So, yeah, I mean, it allows us to do our great work over at Big Brothers Big Sisters and all these other organizations to be able to carry out their missions too. So we're super grateful to be a part of it, and looking forward to another great season.
I want you to plug in, do a plug for Big Brother Big Sisters. When I was in college, I decided to be a big brother.
Nice.
And had a little guy about 5 years old, single mom, no other siblings, had a little cerebral palsy that prevented him from having full mobility, and just ate up having any special attention at all. And I loved spending time with him, taking him to the park, and he really enjoyed that too. So there's power in that kind of relationship, isn't it? I mean,
Well,
I was just a kid myself. I'm like 20 years old, not a lot of wisdom to give, but just spending time with a kid was important.
Well, you said it right there. I mean, you know, most of our the kids in our programs, they're not looking for a mentor with any specific skills or talents or anything like that. They simply just want somebody to be a consistent presence in their life. I mean, just showing up on a regular basis, even if you do nothing at all, but just show up and sit there and look at each other and talk. The fact that the child recognizes when you're consistent, and they know internally, this guy or this girl, they don't have to do this for me, and they feel that. I've not only am I the executive director there, but I've participated in the program. I've been a big brother twice actually in my time there, and I could read it on my kids' faces when I would go visit them. You know, I mean, every human just wants to have other human contact and have somebody that they feel cares about them and wants to help them be their best them. So, and that's what we're all about, building relationships based on friendship and encouragement. And the best thing about our programs are that they work. Our kids are better off academically and socially after having been in the program. So I appreciate your service. What community were you in?
This was in Kentucky, in Williamsburg, Kentucky.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your service, and I'm glad that you have you know, great memories of your time as a big brother. And if you're looking for another good volunteer experience, we'd love to have you.
So how does somebody, what does it, how does a person qualify? What are you looking for a volunteer in that?
Well, again, there's no real special skill set or anything that we're looking for. Anybody can be a good mentor if you have a desire to want to change a child's life. So, but we evaluate all of our potential volunteers on a case-by-case basis. But you would simply go to our website or call the office and start the process. And, you know, we do significant background checks and vetting of our potential volunteers. We do a face-to-face interview. The process can be lengthy, but that's done in the name of child safety and to make sure we're bringing the right folks into our program. But yeah, I mean, it's you know, anyone out there who's listening wants a good volunteer experience, check us out at bigcva.com.
There you go.
.org. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Hey, folks, and it doesn't just benefit the child, but it benefits the volunteer.
Yeah.
I would speak to that personally, that it helped me be a better person
Well,
myself.
I appreciate you saying that, because that's part of our services that we don't promote as often. And but you're exactly right. I mean, obviously, the benefit and our number one priority is to change children's lives. But we do have a secondary function, and that is to provide good volunteer experiences to the people of our community. And yeah, I mean, I agree. It can be life changing for the volunteer as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. There's an opportunity for you, not only to give to Mustaches for Kids or give directly to Big Brother Big Sisters, but get involved. That is really of great value. I mean, it's hard to buy that kind of involvement, right? So it's the best way you can get involved. We've been showing an ad during these community connections, and I think this is a good time, guys, for us to put this ad up. Talk about helping kids and a movement. Let's watch this about Stan Sunday.
There are 30,000 children that are in the foster care system today in the state of Texas. There are 500,000 children that are in the U.S. that's in the foster care system. And I said, who would stand with me today for these kids? That day, Nedra Wade, she stood and raised her hand and she said, Pastor, I will. And then another person stood and said, I will. And another stood and said, I will. And another stood and said, I will. Well, after the process started in our church, and family after family, within 3 months, 39 children were placed in families in our church.
Jesus, Jesus.
What if there was more families waiting for children than children waiting for families? So we called Child Protective Services. And they said, if that happens in any county, that will be the first ever.
Precious Jesus, oh, for grace to trust Him more.
That's just an example of what a community can do when it stands up together on behalf of kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Indeed. So, Tim, you're a businessman here in this community. What was the impetus for you to get involved in Mustaches for Kids? What was that about?
Well, personally, I've always had a passion for kids. I volunteered in youth groups and in churches when I was in college, and always kind of didn't mentor through necessarily a program like Big Brothers Big Sisters, but always kind of mentored kids through church. And then, of course, when I had my own son almost 8 years ago, that was life changing. So I actually when I moved here to Lynchburg in 2015, I got plugged in with CASA of Central Virginia, one of the core charities, and volunteered to the board there. And again, Mustaches was kind of just starting to really get moving here in Lynchburg. And we were a court charity, and our executive director said, we need some guys to grow. So I'm like, why not? My wife reminded me, why not? It looked terrible, but but turns out that's the goal. That's part of the fun. That's what makes it effective. Is looking absolutely ridiculous, Rob, as you're getting involved. So I started volunteering first, growing and raising funds. And the great thing about Mustaches for Kids is once you're involved, and I mean actually involved, not just, hey, I signed up, I went to a few events, I raised $100, but getting involved, getting plugged in, going to the check-ins, going to the kickoff, reading through the emails, responding, it really becomes like a brotherhood. It becomes like this club you're a part of, and not just for the guys. I mean, we've been getting the feedback again. I told you a lot of the ladies are getting involved now, and yeah, as somebody that since I handle the emails and the text messages for Mustaches since I've gotten involved in the board, I have people coming up to me and emailing me all the time, going, "Man, we really miss those check-ins. Man, we miss those mustache events." I mean, it's a blast, and it's a great cause. We're 100% volunteer. We've got no staff at Mustaches. It's a board of 7 people
Wow.
doing all the work. We're 100% pass through. We've got amazing sponsors that help fund us, so that all the money we raise all goes
All
back
of it.
into the community.
It's incredible.
So for me, it was about the passion, and it's about the people. I mean, it's a great time. It's a blast.
Well, I could appreciate how much work goes into this. I've been getting the emails about that because we've supported a couple of folks, my wife and I, who are growers. One thing is a couple of us here are looking to do this now. And real soon we'll have Rob and Mr. Day involved in this too. A key question for you both is, how do you get your wife's permission to do this? What's it take? Are there magic words you can share with us for having our wives say yes?
Well, I've conditioned my wife throughout the years, being that I grow facial hair on the regular. I shave it, I'll grow it back immediately right back and do something else. I go from beard to goatee to mustache to sideburns. It's I accessorize with facial hair like women do with jewelry and makeup. So my wife, I guess, was pretty used to it and doesn't really throw much of a fit. Of course, she likes certain facial style better than others, but you know, she of course is very supportive of it. She knows what it means to my organization, and she likes the fun of going to the stash bash at the end of it all too. So she doesn't put up much of a fight.
For me, I'm all about the guilt trip.
Are you?
It's the only tool in my bag. I pull up a picture of my son.
Oh, he's
and
taking notes.
I pull up a picture of my son and say, "Honey, look how beautiful our son is." She goes, "He really is." I said, "I know. He takes after me." But imagine if he didn't have us, honey. Imagine if he was, on the street or, didn't have anywhere to go after school. She's like, "That's terrible." I said, "I know. This mustache is going to save some kid like that." And there we go. Now I'm a superhero. Now
are a
I'm not goofy looking. I'm a superhero.
I love it. I love it.
What made you decide to get involved, Jeff?
Well, I've been seeing this for a while. I've been supporting Lanny for a couple of years. He's in my Rotary Club. And then another gentleman in my Rotary Club started doing it last year. And so I thought, you know what? That's a really good cause. And I love what you guys are doing. I'm not one to tag my few Facebook friends and my family to do this kind of thing, but I'm thinking I have enough of connections here in the area to be a part of this. And everything that you guys stand for is the right stuff. And I want to be a part of the Stash Bash too. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
It's a great time. It's a great time. And just real quick on the Facebook thing, and we're excited that you're involved, and I'll help twist Rob's arm back there, and
Good.
maybe Mr. Day here also. But we're not. It's not that we're looking for a lot of growers. We're not looking for 50 to 100 people to sign up all the time. We'd much rather have 10 guys sign up and really get involved and do it right. We've had people that'll show up, they'll get all their cool mustache swag and have a great time at the kickoff, and then they'll kind of sit on their hands. They may make a couple Facebook posts and that's it. And that's not what we're looking for. That's kind of where we were stuck a little bit the first year or two, is just a lot of people not giving in their all. The kind of people we're looking for, and the best ways to be involved in Mustaches, if you're going to grow. Read the emails, read the text messages, show up to the events, and send out emails. Pester your friends and your family as much as you can. Coworkers, destroy their email box. We're going, "Look, I need you." Make it personal, and then again, showing up. If you do that, you're going to have a great time. You're going to raise the money that we need you to raise. You're going to contribute to a great cause, and you're going to have an absolute blast.
So besides Rob and Mr. Day, who will be joining the other two of us in this growing season, what does somebody have to do to become a grower? Who do they contact? What do they do?
Since we're kind of early in, you can send me an email to communications.m4, the number 4K Lynchburg at gmail.com. You can also check out our new and improved website, m4klynchburg.org. We're going to be having our big kickoff, and that's the most important date out of all the mustache dates, is our kickoff. It's our registration. It's on November 2nd. It's going to be at Start Hill Brewery on Main Street here in downtown Lynchburg. You show up, bring $25 cash or check. You get a bunch of cool mustache swag. We're going to activate your website.
Oh, we got a mustache socks over here. There you go.
So we'll activate your
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
fundraising site. We'll kind of give you the P's and Q's and show you how it works, and then that's where the fun starts.
Love it.
So, but you got to start from scratch, right?
You have
it's all
to
got to be
start-
off, right?
You have to start fresh, Ash Gorman. It's got to be clean shaving on November 2nd.
On November 2nd.
Not November 1st, not October 31st. It's November 2nd.
Second.
You start off clean shaven, and then that's all where all the goofiness starts. And another point of order, Ash Gorman, it's mustaches for kids, not goatees for kids. Jeff, it's not Fu
Not beards for
Manchus
kids.
Lamb chops.
not
for
lamb
kids.
chops for kids. It's mustaches for kids. We give out a lot of great prizes throughout
Yeah,
throughout
yeah.
the month. So at our check-ins, we'll do best mustache, worst mustache, creepiest mustache. Can't be within 500 yards of a school mustache. There's some great great prizes. There's some it's just, again, we make it fun. We also give out prizes for top fundraisers, top rookie fundraisers. And we do that each week with small prizes, and then at the Stash Bash that Jeff you alluded to, it's a big costume theme mustache party. Where we're giving out big checks. We're giving out those same awards, and we're having an absolute ball. So you come dressed as your favorite mustached individual. We've had a lot of Ron Burgundies. We've had
Freddie
Inspector
Mercury.
Clouseau, Freddie Mercury, Inspector Gadget.
No.
I know, but you look like
Inspector Clouseau.
yeah, but you look like Inspector Gadget.
Tom Selleck.
Yeah, Magnum PI has made several appearances at the Stash Bash. Trying to think, who else?
We've had
Andy Reid,
Andy Reid. We've had Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil.
That was an amazing
Epic.
one year.
Yeah.
Doc, he actually, a friend of ours, actually shaved the
he
top
really
of his
to do
head
that?
to look like Dr. Phil.
Wow.
It was phenomenal.
That's commitment.
That is commitment.
We've had Tiger Woods. It's a great time. It is an absolute great time.
These guys are fun. I can just imagine hanging out with these guys and more like them, right? Yeah. I asked the Rob Meister and our sound tech Liam to find pictures of you in the '80s and me in the '80s to compare mustaches. I think they found some. Did you guys find pictures of us in the '80s? There I am. I'm the one in the hat. That's me in the '80s, and the other one there is Jeff. Both pretty
I didn't
serious
think you could find that
mustaches
one.
there, but
I've seen both those guys at the at the Stash Bash.
Well, we do have a little thing we want to do here.
yes, please.
We'd like to support you guys. We know it's not officially the growing season yet, but we're willing to give a $250 start bonus to you guys to get you guys going. But we have to decide who it's going to go through. And here's our magic coin. We're going to flip a coin, decide who it goes to start your initial season here. So this is heads. This is tails. Ash, you get to call it. What's it going to be?
I'll take heads.
Heads it is.
Dang it.
Tails it is. So
He needs that.
Tim gets $250 for him.
There you
All
go.
right.
Signing it right here, right now.
We appreciate that. That is a fun way to start off.
There you go.
I'm on the leaderboard.
You're number one right now, today.
So thank you so much. This is great. Mustache for Kids, everybody.
Yes.
We have almost a I don't say a brotherhood inside the brotherhood of Mustache for Kids, and that's our granders. So ideally, we would love every grower, as we call them, to be a grander, somebody that's raised $1,000 or more. And it's easier than you think. It's a lot easier than you think. You just, again, you follow the formula, you read the emails, you ask, 100 people for $20, 20 people for $100. It's easy to get past that $1,000 number. But our granders get a little extra. So they get the nice lapel pins to show off that you're a grander, and then we have a big luncheon every year in March. It's called the Granders Luncheon. It's free food. We get together. We watch some the kickoff to March Madness and just an extra fellowship. So last year we had a record number of granders. It was 112, I think.
Out of the 175.
Out of 175 people that raised $1,000 or more.
That is impressive.
And we would love to see everybody do that. We're really, really happy to have WLNI, I know we talked about it earlier, as a partner. They've really jumped in head first. Rich and Dennis have been great, and they've been trying to get creative on how to. They've upped their goals and their competition. They compete against each other. They've upped their goals. I've heard this year there could be tattoos involved, could be missing hair. You never know. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to give anything away for WNI. They're still toying with things. But we've been extremely grateful for all they've done to help spread the word. I really credit them for helping us make the last couple big leaps that we've made.
Okay. Well, guys, unfortunately, we're out of time. We've been having so much fun. The time went by pretty quickly. So, folks, you heard it. Two great causes: Mustaches for Kids, who supports Big Brothers Big Sisters. They, in and of themselves, a great organization to be involved in. You can't lose support in either one or both. It's all about the kids, right? Everything we can do to invest in kids will pay off for all of us in the long run. So do what you can. Be a grower, be a giver, do both. Be a mentor, or just reach out to a kid in your neighborhood and be a friend, all right? Hey, listen, love you, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Nobody gets to choose their family. If a person is fortunate enough to be born into a healthy family, then life can be much like floating down a smooth, gentle river in the summertime. But an unhealthy family is like a dangerous river, filled with rocks, debris, and fast-moving water. This river swiftly leads to the steep waterfall of adulthood, tragically forming a new river of dysfunction. Even if you aren't born into an unhealthy river, there are many streams that cause a person to get there. But there is only one way to get out, and that is through a meaningful relationship. Across our region, there are many agencies, churches, and families who are devoted to helping children escape from unhealthy rivers. Some feel their role is to wade in and rescue children. They foster, adopt, or provide safe families. Others stand by the river and support the rescuers by providing what they need. Still, others are upstream and stand in the gap to keep children from ending up in the negative situations. At Patrick Henry Family Services, we see ourselves as having an additional role. We are running up and down the shores of the unhealthy river, screaming, "Can't you see the children in the water? You have to do something." Vision 30 is a 10-year initiative. By 2030, we envision a region where all children are safe in their own family, or with caregivers who are supported by a local faith community. So, where do you stand at the river? Are you upstream, keeping families together and strong by standing in the gap? Are you in the river, directly impacting children? Are you on the shore, providing support for the brave folks who have entered the river? Or are you just passing by without noticing? No matter who you are, come down to the river with us. Let us help you find your place. Not only will lives be changed, but you will never be the same.